One for the book is the 11th episode of the first season of Cheers, directed, of course, by James Burrows, and I feel like I say this with every episode of Cheers, but it's another really great episode. And I actually want to talk about the two characters that we meet in this one, but I won't go into any spoilers. I won't discuss anything that happens in any detail. Before we meet the two characters, though, we have an introduction to one of the subplots, and that's Diane is keeping a notebook of all of the quotes of things she hears customers saying and employees saying, which I thought would have been a really fascinating thing. It's meant to be a snapshot of, I think she called it a snapshot of Americana. I could be messing that quote up. But she has a really good point. Where else do you get real life quotes and information about what people are really talking about than a bar? Pretty great place for that. Sam's reaction to that I thought was brilliant. I really loved kind of the running joke there. And my favourite joke is the response to the question that went something like, why do you keep something around that doesn't work? You might be able to guess what the response is. I could guess it before the response was given. But I rather enjoyed that a lot. Very well written episode. The two characters we meet, one is a war veteran, a World War I veteran who meets his squad. They have a reunion every however many years, and he's the only one who turns up. And honestly, it gets really sentimental and really emotional at one point, because why is he the only person who's turned up to this year's reunion? Bearing in mind he's 80 years plus, according to IMDb. I can't remember if his exact age was given in the episode, but, he's getting on in life, and the rest of his squad would be the same. And there's this really wonderful scene where actually there'll be tiny spoilers. I'll save that till the end. One of my favourite scenes. And the other person is this guy. This guy walks into a bar, and he's never been in a bar before. And tomorrow he is going to the monastery. He's going to become a monk. So he decides to try alcohol for the first time, with interesting results. And we get some really lovely conversations. Carla in particular gives a really lovely speech to him. And I thought it was really well. I mean, it's a really well written episode anyway, but it's very moving and definitely puts a lot of things into perspective about what's really important, about where you get real life experience from, and where you can find support as well. So the spoiler, I was going to discuss that scene that I loved, and spoiler from now, it's the point in the episode where the veteran realizes, yeah, he's the only one there. Nobody else has turned up. It's implied that they're all dead, and everybody else in the bar is supporting him and giving reasons for why they might not be there, and making him feel a little bit less alone. And I just thought it was so moving and so beautiful, and I'm welling up thinking about it. It's one of the first times in Cheers where we see that people can go to the bar for support and to be around other people and to not be alone in the world. And I think this is, a lot of people do go to pubs and bars for that reason, because you're not alone. You're never alone. And even if you just want to be in the atmosphere where other people are, a lot of people do go to the pub by themselves to socialise with strangers, or to just feel not as alone in the world. And I think having these strangers rallying around, not strangers to each other, but strangers to this veteran, rallying around and, supporting him and being there for him, was just so beautiful. Really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Ian Wolfe plays the veteran, and Bodwell plays Kevin, the guy who was going on to be a monk. It's a really lovely, inspiring episode, and as with the rest of the episodes of Cheers, I absolutely loved it.